Well, now to my next guest. It's summertime, and that means it's Big Brother time again. Probably the most successful participant since the series began is my next guest. But after becoming a media darling from her first stint in the Big Brother house, she suffered a truly catastrophic fall from grace following her second appearance on the show. It's been a tough year for the mum of two, but she's picked up the pieces. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Jade Goody.
Thank you.
I love your hair.
Oh, thanks. It's not real.
But no, but hey, I still love it. It looks good on you. But listen, people always have different views about Big Brother, right? But you did become famous out of it. Is it largely good overall?
Well, for me it was because the first time I ever went in there because me and my mum was going through a really bad patch. The boyfriend at the time was not particularly good. And I never wanted to be sort of famous. I've never auditioned for anything. So it was, for me, it was just like a holiday camp. So when I got in, I was just like this young 20-year-old that was just like being like a child, I suppose, because I'd never been able to be one. And I had nothing. So to come out and then to be able to, you know, have the life that I had, it was really nice for me. So no, I don't have any regrets at all.
And if you hadn't, because I'm going to talk a bit about your background, if you hadn't gone into Big Brother, knowing your friends now, what do you think you would be doing now?
Okay, I would have either been in a mental home or I would have been a hygienist, because I was like really good. I was a dental nurse and I really enjoyed my job, and I would have liked to have trained as a hygienist. Whether or not my brain would have got me there, I don't know, but that's what I would have liked to have done.
Because you did. People often say they have tough backgrounds, but reading your stuff for today, you did have a really tough background. I mean, your dad, he was a heroin addict?
Yeah. I laugh because I don't blame anybody, and I don't sort of live my life all my dad and all my mum. But yeah, my dad was a heroin addict. One of my first memories of my dad was waking up, I was about 3, and I could see him injecting and his eyes rolling back and stuff. And my mum, she had a really aggressive temper, so it was either being taken out on me or she was having fights with different partners and stuff like that. And it was either, and I was always surrounded by drugs, and I never wanted to do drugs. I never wanted to have that sort of life. So I was just like this odd person in this like odd upbringing that wasn't normal.
Yeah, well, you turned out great. Like, you are a very strong person, but you were doing something and you found your dad died tragically, didn't he?
He took an overdose about 3 years ago now, in Kentucky Fried Chicken, of all places. In Kentucky Fried Chicken, I was like, oh my God, could you have done it any more public?
Did he die there?
Yeah, he took an overdose, a heroin overdose in Kentucky Fried Chicken. He died without any veins in his body at all. He injected every single vein. He had none, even in his private parts, which is... Ugh.
But listen, so when you went into Big Brother, you really, for your own sake, like, you really did become a success. What amuses me is, I can't remember who won your Big Brother. You came fourth, but like, you're the star. Who did win it?
I come forth, a girl called Kate Lawler won it, and she's gone on and she's done other things and stuff, but I just sort of hang around the most, and I can't tell you why that is. I just think I'm like a normal person, and I do speak out of turn sometimes, but it's because I don't think before I speak.
No, but I thought it was funny. Didn't you go on it? Because the thing about reality TV that's really bizarre is you're catapulted into being very famous very quickly. But you were saying in your book that you actually went on a plane and there was Kate Moss and Samuel Jackson. Tell me, that's
it was amazing. I went on a plane. I was going away actually because I went on a binging weekend, and the photos of me were horrific. Like, my bum was hanging out. It was horrible, and I just wanted to get away from it. Like, the press was really nasty towards me. So I got on this plane on to LA. Kate Moss is sitting in front of me. Orlando Bloom's to my right, and Samuel Jackson is 2 seats in front. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm on this plane. And I walked out, and I've never asked anybody for their autograph, but I thought I've got to. So I sort of like tapped him on his leg. I was like, Samuel, and he sort of looked at me, and I thought, oh dear. And he's like, Jade Goody. I was like, oh my God, do you know who I am? And he's like, yeah, I read about you all the time. And he said to me, you didn't look too good this week in the magazines. And I was like, oh, so you've seen them. But I've stayed in contact with him. We're not best friends, I wouldn't say that, but you know, he's trying to hook me up with his agent in America and stuff like that. He's a really nice man.
But you mentioned the magazines there, right? And that is pressure, because it's, you know, a double-edged sword. Fame, it can work to your advantage. It can also be quite cruel. After the celebrity Big Brother went wrong last year, did you find all that very difficult?
I felt really rejected because, you know, growing up as a child, I was rejected. You know, my father chose drugs over me, my mum chose their lifestyle over me. So rejection to me is a huge thing, and I think that's why I struggle with relationships. But to walk into a house 6 years before and everybody recognise who you are when you come out, and then to walk out the second time to nobody and be rejected, it really messed with my mind. But I know more than anybody, the press sort of builds you up to knock you down. And I sell newspapers, and so they were writing what they thought was right. But I never had any problem off the street from anybody or anything. It was just the newspapers.
But you ended up in the Priory, didn't you?
Yeah.
But were you low, or did you just need that to get yourself together?
I've never asked for any help. I've always been the sort of helper my mum, nan, granddad's and whoever. But I was under sort of suicide watch. I got put in through doctor's orders, and I was really, really bad. I remember when I was in there, I had like a puffer coat and I was like a nutcase. I couldn't take my coat off because I thought if I take my coat off, it means I've got to stay here. So I slept in my coat for the first night.
But look, you're in a great place now.
Yeah,
and one of the things you're doing is you have a fit farm, or tell me about that. Is that because there's all this, you know, God,
there's a lot of pressure
about people's weight?
No, there is a lot of pressure to look like a size 0 or to be a size perfect 10.
Do you feel
or
that
like,
pressure?
No, I never had any problems before Big Brother, but then after coming off of Big Brother, you sort of look at yourself in a different way. You're more critical, and it led for me having an eating disorder. Not bad, because I've never been skinny or anything, but to the point where I took laxatives, slimming pills, doubled the doses, and really messed my body up inside. And not long ago, I went on a fit camp, and I paid like a ridiculous amount of money, and I lost weight. But straight after, they offered me this food, and they said, like, pay £250 for this food, and this will keep your weight off. And I was like, well, that's going against everything you've just taught me. So I've done a lot of research, and I'm opening my own fit camp, me and my business partner, and it's going to be in secret locations. It's quite glamorous, but it's affordable, and you lose a dress size in a week, and trainers and stuff like that.
But do you think sometimes there's too much pressure on women? Like, why should people be size 0? Do you know what I mean?
No,
they want
I don't
people
think
to be
it's
skinny
particularly
links.
attractive, you know. And I do think it's healthy to have curves, and that is my motto, you know. I think it's healthy to have curves, but then on the flip side, I don't think it's healthy to eat 4 loaves of bread a day. You know, there's got to be a balance.
You spoke earlier, you know, you're talking about rejection and something you found that difficult, and obviously I think I read that you were saying because of your father, you've had maybe slight problems in relationships, but you are in love at the moment, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Yeah, nearly.
No, I've always had, I've had like, issues like being accepted, and I get to a sort of point and I just think, are you going to run off and leave me now? Are you cheating on me? And I sort of settle for things that people shouldn't really settle for. But no, I'm not with anybody. Me and my partner, we finished. We've been separated for about 4 or 5 months now. But you know, there is sort of somebody that I'm just sort of hanging on for, but I don't think it's going to get anywhere, so I might as well just shut up. I'll do a runner.
That's fine. A few days ago, it was like true love, I was told.
No, it's not true at all. There's no true love or anything. I'm not in a relationship. I think I need to concentrate on myself more.
Do you watch Big Brother at the moment?
I have been watching it, not like religiously, but I have been watching it. But Alex, God, she was really... I'm quite brave, and I'd have an argument with a few people, but I'll stay clear from her.
It was much nicer when you were in it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no, seriously. And
Thank
Jade, you're a real survivor, and I'm glad things are going so well for you.